it was on a Zoom call. And I don't know if you know this, but like if you are too loud, Zoom will like stop it. They're like, that can't be real. That can't be a person. We'll block it out. So I was screaming so loudly that like, I think my casting producer was like, what? Are you there? What? And I'm like, I don't know why she doesn't hear me. And then I'm like, oh, it's because I am screaming so loud with excitement that Zoom was like, not safe for human ears. We'll block it. But it was so rewarding because it had been such a long journey. And, to be an alternate, it's a blessing and a curse. And in a lot of ways, it sucks because you get so close to your dream. You can taste it. You're literally in Fiji and then it's ripped from your hands. And so to finally get that like redemption and that chance to play, I was over the moon. I actually only did it, like I applied once in 2020, didn't go anywhere. Then I applied, I guess it was 2023, and did the interview process. And that's when I was cast as the alternate for 48. And then for 49, stayed in touch with the casting team and let them know that like, oh, still very much so want to do this. And so only really had to go through it. I shouldn't say only twice because it is, a lot going on, but I know people apply tens of times, maybe even hundreds. So I feel lucky in that I was able to play 49 after being an alternate for 48. Especially at 7, like 7 is your kind of one of your last chances to like make a really sick move and get somebody out and like play some crazy things. And so the fact that they were like, nah, we're not gonna take advantage of it being 7 and like having, an odd number, so 4 versus 3, we just got to get her out of this game was, I would say like quite an honor. And I'm very flattered. Obviously wish I could have gone further. That's the competitor in me. I hate to lose, but I was really, just of all the ways to go, I think that was maybe the best. Oh my God, I was stupidly confident. Like I was fully blindsided. I had no idea. And in retrospect, I should have been like a little bit more weary, but I really thought that like Sage and Christina's dislike of Savannah would carry through. And like from Steven's perspective, like I knew that, Steven is good at challenges as well. Like it would make sense for like it all made enough sense for me that I was quite confident. And then even I thought that Blue Sophie might flip because I could imagine that, maybe going through her brain is that she's from the outside kind of played a little bit of a coattails game on Savannah and Rizzo. And this is a great opportunity to make a huge resume building move and take out her number one ally. So I really thought that like I could maybe even get Soph in on this. And so, I was way too confident with the fact that Savannah was going home. I think they did show me and Soph talking, but I think we talked like a couple times that day and also maybe kind of like leading up to it where like, Soph was acknowledging that it would make sense for her to get out either a Rizzo or a Savannah. And then in talking to Christina and Steven, like I think we saw in the last episode that like Christina and Savannah kind of had like a little bit of a tense encounter. And so I knew that like, there was no love lost between the two of them. And that coupled with talking with Christina and Steven back at camp really kind of reassured me. And then also talking with Sage, like I knew how much I'd upset her by voting out Jawan, but I really felt like she had been gunning for Savannah for so long that it was not beyond the pale that she would kind of put aside our differences for a little bit and vote Savannah. I was thinking that I think I said it. I was like, I'm not going to apologize. Like I still maintain that a Jawan or a Sage going home made more sense at that point than voting out Savannah, because where I was sitting in that Jawan vote is I was now in a foursome versus being the bottom of a five of Steven and Christina and Sage and Jawan. And those are two tight duos. And I was the odd man out there and also not getting clued in on a lot of like information. I had a hunch that Christina had an idol. Then we went through her bag. None of them told me about it. Whereas Savannah showed me her steal a vote, like, or her extra vote. Like, showing that you trust somebody in the game is sharing information with them. And so the fact that I never got that from Steven or Christina or Jawan. And I did get it from Sage, but I didn't get it from those three. It just didn't make sense to me. And so I hear that, yeah, Sage thought that I was handing Savannah a million, but I really, in my view, I was keeping myself alive another day in the game and bettering my position.
Yeah, and also like when you know that like Savannah has this extra vote, like she shows it to you, like you're like, oh, this team, this alliance has more tools to play with.
Yes.
Like they're gonna
And Rizzo has an idol. Yes. Like this, not only am I better from a numbers perspective in this group in terms of like in Survivor, it's like an alliance of 4 makes sense. You can get to fire. Whereas 5, like I like 5, the bottom of that 5, I could be going home at 5 and that would really suck. But they have a lot of advantages and tools. And Savannah is a challenge shield for me. Like we are both competitive, and like my thought was the second that she goes, I am the next obvious immediate vote out. Like the second I don't win, I'm going to be on the chopping block. So my ideal final 3 was actually going to be, at that point, Sage and Blue Soph, because I had kind of like, I really didn't trust Steven or Christina at this point. And I feel like Steven hadn't really pissed off that many people on the jury. And I really had. Like I had voted for everyone who was sitting at the jury at that point. So I was like, I can't afford to have like Steven or Christina in final 3 with me because they haven't pissed off anybody at the jury. And then I can't afford to have Savannah from a challenge threat perspective because we played similar games. But I feel like Soph and Sage played different enough games to me. I think I could have I think I could have beaten them in a final tribal. And Rizzo was playing such a good, like, true strategic game that I didn't actually want to sit next to him in the final tribal. I think he would have out strategied me in that discussion, and has a great story of like coming up from the bottom. Whereas I feel like with Soph and Sage, I had enough on them in both challenge wins and being in difficult positions and like kind of fighting my way through that I could make a good case for why I won. Honestly, I just wish they had shown a little bit more of early, like my alliance building early on at Hina, just because I feel like that was really absent. I mean, I didn't get a ton of screen time pre-merge anyways, but I think it really comes across as though I'm playing a game just truly solo. And that's not how it felt to me. Like I had allies. I was never anybody's number one. So I wish to show that I was a little bit more of like a well-rounded player than just somebody who is in competitions. At that point, it was MC. Up until the merge, I thought like we were kind of locked. And you know, she had shared with me that there was a rival Hina alliance to get me out. And so, yeah, I really thought that she and I were tight. But then I also had relationships with Steven and like even Christina to an extent in some of those other tribe swaps. So it would have been nice to show some of that, just that my game wasn't as solo dolo as it appears.